The coin market cap is used to summarize everything that is said in this movie. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to my station to get more XRP news and news about cryptocurrencies in general. Look at this now. A lawyer who supports XRP thinks that the SEC will rule against Ripple. Ripple and the US Securities and Exchange Commission are still in court. People in the XRP army are still nervous as they wait for a possible decision about fines and solutions. The legal process, which had been going on for 61 days, finished with the last regular filings. Jeremy Hogan, Bill Morgan, John E. Deaton, James Metal, Almond Murphy, and Fred Rispoli are some of the well-known pro-XRP lawyers that people in the community have tagged in their guesses about whether the decision could be made as soon as this week. There is a lot of guesswork going around in the neighborhood right now. There may be an end to the XRP case on Friday. When asked about the rumors, Rispola made an interesting prediction. The earliest I can see it happening is Friday, which is the day before the anniversary of the summary judgment decision. I am still betting that it will happen at the end of July, which is what I said would happen. Also, the fact that XRP hasn't done what was expected doesn't bother an expert observer. They still expect a big breakout. Bill Morgan, an additional pro-XRP lawyer, joined the conversation and widened it to include procedural issues, which could make it harder to come to a final decision about punishments and remedies. Morgan asked his coworker about a request that Judge Sarah Netburn had yet to rule on before she and Judge Elisa Torres could decide on fines and other punishments. The following observation was made by Morgan. Doesn't Judge Netburn still have to decide on a move before Judge Torres can decide on the penalties? The explanation that Rispoli gave was as follows. In fact, that move is still open. However, there is no rule that says it has to be decided on first. Torres could tell Netburn that her decision means there is no need to decide on the X3 half discovery issue. For this reason, both judges could talk to each other. By saying thanks, Fred Morgan showed his appreciation to Rispoli for clearing things up. Check out this story that's related. A person who used to work as an expert at Goldman Sachs doesn't like XRP and Cardano and calls them cult meme coins. This legal discussion comes after recent predictions by Rispoli, which were written about by Bitcoinist. In those statements, Rispoli said that the decision might come out on July 31st, though. Besides that, he said that a decision might come out as early as July 13th, which is the anniversary of a major summary ruling that was made in 2023. In the past, Judge Torres' ruling that XRP did not meet the requirements for a security was a big win for Ripple in its battle against the Securities and Exchange Commission. Morgan did bring up the point that there is still a motion that makes things more difficult. In a move to strike that was sent on April 29th, Ripple included more expert papers that the SEC had already given. These papers have statements and proofs from Andrea Fox, who is a new expert witness. Judge Netburn may make a decision that is very important when it comes to this move. If Judge Netburn rules in favor of Ripple on this request, Judge Torres might be able to move on without having to make any more decisions about this case. Has suggested that this shouldn't stop the final decision from being made on the case's solutions and punishments. Since this is the case, a choice could be made this week. The players in the Ripple class action case have asked to file their papers under seal, according to the most current information about the case. It was ordered by a district court judge not long ago that hearings and papers had to be turned in by certain dates in July. The narrowed request to seal had to be turned in by Monday, because the programmatic buyer's claim also applies to this case. Ripple has asked the court to review the summary ruling that Judge Torres made, which was a small update to the case involving Ripple Labs and Inc., an administrative motion to file under seal, an administrative motion under Civil Local Rule 711, and additions to an administrative motion to file under seal were the most recent papers sent to the court. At the end of the day, on July 8th, these files were posted. Before this, Judge Phyllis Hamilton told the parties that they should rethink their requests to keep the brief secret, because the court had already said that no part of the hearings could be kept secret. Because Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple Labs, and XRPI2 seals all asked for the same proof to be sealed, Judge Hamilton agreed to do so. As reported by ConeGate, Judge Phyllis Hamilton has set July 8th as the due date for making the narrowed request to seal in this Ripple XRP case. Once this is done, the court will make a separate ruling about the parties' narrow motion to seal the document. The case was also sent to Magistrate Judge Robert Ellman for a meeting to talk about the deal. Also by July 26th, the parties were supposed to send a notice saying that they would keep trying to get the evidence of 4 experts thrown out because the plaintiffs couldn't prove that XRP is a security and that investors depend on Ripple's work to make money. Ripple won most of the points that were brought up in the summary ruling. Fred Rispoli, a professional crypto lawyer, says that the price of XRP will likely go back up. He also says that the limit for orders in the remedies phase may be either Friday, July 12th, or late July. As a wait for Judge Torres' ruling, whales are buying XRP in large amounts, which is equal to about $16 million from a recent transaction by a huge whale. People are more likely to think that the case is getting closer to being solved since Whalert is keeping an eye on this deal. One of Ripple's supporters, Fred Rispoli, has said that the court case might be over on either July 31st or July 13th. Judge Annalisa Torres of the federal court made a decision that changed the course of history on July 13th, which is today. There was a 100% rise in the price of XRP after Judge Torres said that it was a commodity when it was sold to the public on this date last year. Regulations are being run by persistent uncertainty. There is still a lack of clarity and consistency in the rules that govern cryptocurrencies. The charges that the Securities and Exchange Commission made against Binance were thrown out because of recent events. This decision, which was used to defend Ripple's coins, showed how different governments handle cryptocurrencies in different ways. Ripple's point is that the lack of clarity in regulations makes it hard for the company to work within clear legal limits. The movements of whales show that the market is not as optimistic as people think it is, even though they are hopeful about how the case will turn out. Given that the altcoin market as a whole is currently going down, the XRP whale may choose to sell off assets to lower their risk of losing money. At the moment, XRP is worth $0.43, which is 0.6% more than it was 24 hours ago. Please be aware that the information given is not meant to be taken as business advice. Any purchases made based on the information on this page are not the responsibility of the people who made them. Before making any investment decisions, you should definitely do your own study and sometimes even talk to a professional.